Hi everybody. I created this video so I could share my garden with you guys. This is one section right here. These are my strawberries down here, but I haven't been picking them, so I need to pick them so they don't all go bad. This area is for my cucumbers. I created a little trellis there so they would grow up the fence. And I planted a lot of these. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, nasturtium. But I love these because I love to eat these leaves. I like the flavor of them. These are my radishes. But I've maybe gotten 3. They get too long and leggy, so I gotta figure out what's going on. This is my strawberry mint. And here we have the eggplants, which are doing so-so. Some lettuce, which will probably go to seed soon, and the banana peppers, lots of dill, cilantro. Sharon, this is my chard, not probably as healthy looking as yours. And then my tomato plants. Here I have I think they're the sugar snaps with more of that flower whose leaves I like to eat. Here we have milkweed. So this milkweed kind of grows wild here. So we tend to have a lot, and I have a lot in my, I think 3 or 4 here in my garden. The oregano. And then here, the blueberry bushes. And this right here are all my green beans with more of that flower I like, and the leaves are huge on this one. But I love the taste of the leaves. This is all lettuce and mints. I think that's spearmint. Lettuce, more lettuce, various types. And this section right here is lettuce and carrots. And if you look up this way, you can see the elderberry bushes. And down here I have my morning glory, so they can just grow up the fence and decorate the fence. This is something, it looks like some sort of fruit vine. I'm not sure, it may be a wild one, but I'll let you know as it moves forward and continues to grow. Who knows? This right here is my little arbor section. So I have various types of trees with tomatoes growing in them. I'm not sure what everything is. I know we have a couple hemlocks, crepe myrtles, hawthorn, and a bunch of other different ones. I think somewhere in here there's a dogwood. I don't know. Just some little flower pots. This is a newer section here where I had sunflowers, and you can see the deer ate the tips of them. And down in here, that is artichoke plant. think that's a gardenia bush and just more flowers. These are just some wildflowers. I think they're fleabane. And you can see a whole bunch more over here. I just let them grow this year. Coreopsis, these are one of my favorites. And just more flower pots. And over here is another garden I started last year. This is a mixture of flowers and vegetables. So, as you can see, I have a bunch of squash plants with more of the wildflowers. I planted a lot of marigolds in here to try and keep the bugs away. I've probably gotten 6 squash plants already. You can see some of the flowers. This one the deer got. Over here's some more. I don't know if you can see the zebra swallowtail. Kind of flew off. These are tomatoes that I planted, and behind them are the sunflowers, which the deer got also, but they're starting to regrow and shoot off from the sides. And throughout here you can see some watermelon, more sunflowers, purple basil, more watermelon. And this is the melon section. I think they're cantaloupes. And here I have some yarrow and some other plants. These will be all black-eyed Susans in the front. Most of the lilies here have bloomed. Some zinnias. Down here we have the Mexican sunflowers and zinnia. This is going to flower out into a bush. These that bloom in the fall, I think they're a type of mum. Some more Coreopsis. And this climbs up the pole, Clematis, I think. And this big one in the back here, I usually leave for the birds, even though it's kind of a weed, but it produces these little berries that the birds like in the fall. And here, some zinnias we started from seed. Everything's overgrown a little bit. We have a lot of clover, which the bees really seem to love. And this is just a little garden we started last year. And this year I planted the marigolds and the other flowers in front of them, begonias. And here's another section of the garden. Mostly flowers. Here you can see the bee balm. So we have mostly red bee balm, and then I brought some back from Norfolk. This plant here is mountain mint, and as soon as it gets its flowers, it's usually covered, and I mean covered, with all kinds of bees and flies and butterflies. Here's some of the purple bee balm in the back that I brought from Norfolk. It hasn't bloomed yet. So this is the front. Then we move over into more of the shaded things. So we have lots of ferns here. Here's some more flowers. We'll have some dahlias, spiderwort, those big giant yellow flowers, some sort of vine I gotta pull. These are all raspberry vines. They're very invasive here. More ferns. Rows of Sharon bush. Lots of clover and that invasive purple basil invading. This right here is our gooseberry bush, and you can see the gooseberries here. And all down here are the raspberries. And here we have more flowers. The crazy tall ones that bloom in the fall. A bunch of zinnias we started from seed. Some cosmos there in the back. These are going to be tall flowers that kind of look like black-eyed Susans. They're just really big. These right here are called Goldenrod, and they get very tall, and they'll bend over, and they have like this beautiful cascade yellow flowers. Our fig tree, which I'm hoping will get figs this year. Some more mountain mint, and that other flower I showed you earlier that blooms big like black-eyed Susans. More milkweed, which just grows naturally here. And our elderberry bush. I brought back 2 sticks from Norfolk. And last year they didn't do anything, but this year they have. And this right here is the Raspberry Fields Forever. You can see where the deer got some of the ones up front here, but there's plenty in the back. And it goes on, and there's actually some more right up here. Same thing. lots of weeding to do. But the grass last year I threw clover on it, and so there's lots of clover, lots of bee activity here and pollinators. And I have found that growing the food with the flowers actually helps the food because it brings about more pollinators, if that makes sense. And this right here is field corn. And I set out corn for the squirrels, and they have planted the kernels all over. I've probably pulled up 100 plants. And at the bottom of each one, I find a corn kernel. And just some of my house plants. And we end right here at another little shade garden I created, but lots more work to be done. Love and miss you guys. Bye-bye.